This is the power of Jesus. Welcome.
Every morning begins before the sun. Michael's alarm cuts through the dark. 4:30 a.m. Another day. His body aches, but duty calls louder than rest. The streets are silent. He steps into the cold air, lunchbox in hand, chasing the hope that hard work will be enough. Inside the factory, the machines roar. Sweat burns his eyes. His hands, calloused and cracked, tell the story of years without rest. Each spark, each clang, each breath feels heavier than the last, but he keeps going because quitting is not an option. Late at night, bills spread across the kitchen table. Numbers blur. Effort turns into exhaustion, and still, it's never enough. The warehouse clock glows past midnight. His reflection in the steel walls looks smaller every night. The world sleeps. Michael keeps working. At home, dinner goes on without him. An empty chair sits at the table, the silent witness of sacrifice. In his rough hands, a paycheck stub. The paper trembles. So many hours, for so little. He whispers, "How much more can I give?" The notice lies on the floor. Bold red letters, overdue rent. Michael bends down slowly, reading the words that make his chest tighten. Another month. Slipping away. The fridge door opens. Cold air, empty shelves. Half a carton of milk. One apple left. Silence fills the space where laughter used to live. His child runs to him with a bright toy catalog, tiny hands filled with hope. Michael forces a smile, but his eyes betray him. He can't afford even one dream from those pages. At night, he sits on the edge of his bed, hands covering his face. Shame presses heavy on his chest. He gave everything, and still it's not enough. At work, whispers float near the lockers. Be grateful you still have a job. The words cut deeper than they know. He lowers his gaze and walks on. Back home, the paycheck waits on the table, numbers circled in ink. Too small, too cruel. His fingers tremble. How can something so little cost so much? The clock glows red. 2 a.m. Sleep won't come. He stares into the darkness, his mind counting debts instead of dreams. Bills cover the floor like fallen leaves. Overdue, overdue, overdue. He sits in the middle of it all, head in his hands, whispering into the silence. I work so hard, but it's never enough. He sits across from his manager. No words are needed. The silence says it all. The promotion went to someone else. Another door closed. On the bulletin board, a new name glows in bold. His isn't there. He stares for a moment, too long, then looks away, pretending it doesn't hurt. At home, the blue light of the laptop flickers. Résumé after résumé, email after email. He keeps sending them into the void, praying for a call that never comes. The phone lies still on the table. No vibration, no message, no sound. Just his reflection staring back, waiting, hoping, doubting. In a cafe, friends encourage him. Don't give up, they say with kind eyes. He smiles faintly, but inside, their words echo against hollow walls. Outside, the night air bites his skin. The warmth of the cafe fades behind him. He pulls his jacket tight and walks alone into the cold. In the mirror, he straightens his tie. His hands shake. The man looking back seems older, smaller. The fire that once burned now flickers low. He sits against a massive closed door. The cracks glow faintly with golden light. Hope so close, yet locked away. He whispers, maybe this is all I'll ever have. And in the distance, a long corridor of closed doors stretches endlessly ahead. Michael stands small beneath their weight, and yet, at the very end, a faint light still waits. That night, the weight was too much to bear. Michael fell to his knees beside the bed. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Lord, I've done all I can. Please, open a door." Tears streamed down his face. For the first time, he admitted he couldn't do it alone. His hands trembled. His heart broke open. The silence around him felt alive. Waiting, a single tear fell to the floor, glimmering in the dim light like a prayer made visible. It carried both pain and surrender. He stayed there, shaking, hands clasped tightly, whispering the only words he had left, "Help me." And then, a faint golden light began to fall. It touched his shoulders softly, wrapping him in warmth that no human voice could give. Michael lifted his face. The tears still glistened, but peace began to rise behind them. His breathing slowed. For the first time in months, he felt calm. He sat quietly on the bed, a fragile smile forming through the tears. The room wasn't dark anymore. Something unseen had entered and stayed. In a vision of faith, he reached forward, offering a small key to a hand made of pure light. It wasn't surrender in defeat. It was trust. And as the key touched the light, the room filled with golden radiance. Every shadow fled. Faith had finally awakened where strength had failed. The phone rings. Michael hesitates before answering. An unfamiliar voice says, "We'd like to meet with you." A company he never applied to, calling his name. He stands in the lobby of a new building. Light floods through tall glass doors. He feels small, yet somehow seen. Every step forward feels guided. A warm handshake greets him. The manager's smile feels genuine, as if the room itself carries peace. Michael dares to hope again. Across the desk, the manager speaks kindly. They know his name, his story, his work. Michael listens, eyes wide, barely believing what he hears. He steps outside into sunlight. The air feels different, lighter, freer. The glass doors behind him shimmer, and for the first time in years, he exhales without fear. Back inside, a contract slides across the desk. His hands tremble as he reaches for it. After years of rejection, this moment feels holy. He whispers, "How did you even find me?" The manager smiles softly, eyes bright with calm assurance. "Your work ethic spoke for you." And Michael understands. This wasn't coincidence. The same doors that once stayed shut are now wide open. He stands before them, light pouring through, a golden glow that no human hand could have created. God himself opened the way. He shakes the manager's hand firmly. The contract lies signed between them. It's more than a job. It's a door that only God could open. At home, the bills are paid. The table is clear. His wife smiles softly, resting her hand on his arm. Peace has returned to their home. When he steps through the door that evening, his children run to him, laughing. Their arms wrap around him, and for the first time in years, he feels whole. Across the table, his wife's eyes shine. No fear, no worry, just calm, gratitude, and love. Dinner fills the room with laughter. Simple food, humble table, but every plate feels like a miracle. Joy sits at the head of this home. Michael lifts his child into his arms. Their faces glow in golden light. This is more than happiness. It's redemption made visible. He walks through his new workplace, head held high, steps steady. Every corridor feels bright. A future he no longer fears to face. The front door of his home glows. The same door once dark and silent now shines with golden light, the mark of a home restored. That night, they sit together, hands joined in prayer. No words are needed, only gratitude. Jesus opened the door, and peace came in. Michael couldn't stay silent. At church, he stood before the people, voice trembling, eyes wet with gratitude. He said, "I worked hard, but Jesus opened the door." The room grew quiet. Tears filled the eyes of those listening. They saw not a man, but a miracle standing before them. Light from the stained glass bathed his face. Peace replaced the worry that once lived there. His words carried weight because they were real. At work, his co-workers noticed the change. He smiled more. He worked with joy, the kind that money can't buy. Neighbors saw it too, the laughter from his home, the calm on his face, a peace they couldn't explain. His house, once heavy with silence, now glowed with warmth and laughter. It wasn't luck, it was grace. Visible, alive, undeniable. A Bible rests, open on a wooden table. A small key lies across its pages, glowing softly, the same key he once gave to God, now resting on the promise fulfilled. Far beyond his home, others begin to believe. A nurse pauses, whispering a prayer. A worker looks toward heaven. A student clutches a cross with new hope. Michael stands with his family behind him, hand raised toward the sky. The light breaks through the clouds. What he did for me, he can do for you. And in the church, voices rise together, hands lift in worship, faces shine with peace. The light fills the room, and faith fills every heart. Work is good, but effort alone will never be enough. It was Jesus who opened the door. No resume or promotion could unlock. Science may treat, strength may sustain, but only Christ completes the miracle. God provides where human effort fails. What he did for Michael, he can do for you. Trust him with your future. You will see doors open that no man can close. The same key that turned for Michael can turn for you too, if you dare to believe. A path of light stretches forward. Every door stands open, and at the end, Jesus waits. With arms wide open, his light reaches every life. The worker, the mother, the student. He meets you right where you are. Michael places a Bible on the table. His children watch quietly. Faith is no longer just his story. It's their inheritance. And beyond every horizon, golden light fills the sky. Because with Jesus, nothing is impossible. The cross shines bright above the world. Hands lift in worship. Heaven touches earth. Subscribe to the power of Jesus and share this story of hope.
With Jesus, nothing is impossible. Subscribe to the power of Jesus and share this message of hope.